You think you know turkey, but wait until you see this. I took a regular bird and turned it into something wild, smoky, buttery, and unbelievably juicy. The secret, a compound butter that melts beneath the skin, mixing with wood smoke to create flavor you've never tasted before. By the time you see the first slice, you realize this isn't just turkey. Please stick around. This is transformation on a plate. And the best part? It's easier than you think. Let's fire it up. Okay, welcome back to Flavors and Footprints. Today I'm going to be smoking a turkey on a pellet smoker, specifically on a Traeger. So here I have all the ingredients and condiments I'm going to be using to smoke this bird. I just washed it briefly, and then I'm going to be putting it into a brine for 24 hours, which I'm going to walk you through all the steps to, cook or make the perfect brine. And then from there, we're going to show you how to season it, all the rub I'm going to make for it, all the stuffing I'm going to do with all the vegetables, and I'll walk you all the step by step how to smoke it perfectly for crispy skin and really juicy meat. So this cook will consist of 4 different steps, and I'm going to break it down for you. So number 1 will be the brine, which will take between 12 and 24 hours. Number 2 will be the chill process, which is again 12 to 24 hours. So you got to make sure you have a day and a half to 2 days before the day you want the turkey to be ready or eaten. And number 3 will be our injection and rub. And number 4 will be the smoking process. So now we're gonna make our brine. So we're gonna put the ingredients into a pot with 2 cups of water. We're gonna let it boil so they mix, and then there's a consistent mix. And then we're gonna put our bird together with some apple juice and the mix. For ingredients, we're gonna have black pepper, small paprika, some peppercorns, and then I like to put 1 cup of Montreal steak seasoning to give them even more flavor. We're gonna do 2 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of kosher salt. We're gonna start with 1 cup of salt. Once that's done, we're gonna get a couple cups of brown sugar. 1, and there's 2. So now we're gonna add our cup of Montreal steak seasoning, and this will give you a really rich flavor in all that meat when you smoke it. We'll continue with some of the peppercorn. And then the last couple ingredients, so we're gonna do a little bit of a smoked paprika, and then finally we're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Okay, for the final step, I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. And then I'm gonna mix it a little bit. This is how it looks. It's pretty heavy. Now we're gonna put it in the stove for 5 to 10 minutes, so all these ingredients dilute and mix together. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna set it to medium high, and then we're gonna let it go for 5 to 10 minutes. While we boil our brine, I'm gonna get the turkey ready. So I've taken all the neck and gibbles from the inside. I've rinsed it, and I'm gonna make sure it's all clean and no feathers or anything on the skin before I put it in the brine. So 10 minutes has gone by, and then our brine is ready. I'm gonna put it in this container where we're gonna put our bird in, and we're gonna let it sit for 24 hours in the fridge. So this is pretty hot, so I'm gonna put some ice cubes to make sure so they're all well mixed together and not too hot for our bird. So we're gonna put it with the breast in and make sure is fully covered and everything gets into all the cavities. Now we're gonna add some of our herbs inside our turkey. So we start infusing that flavor overnight. Some of the parsley here. And then we'll do a little bit of the green onions as well. So we're also gonna add some onions and garlic. And our bird is ready to go in the fridge overnight. So you can do this for 12 to 24 hours and make sure you have at least 12 hours before you're gonna smoke it to make sure it all dries completely, and then you get that skin to be crispy as everyone desires. Welcome back. Our turkey has been in the brine overnight, so I've already rinsed it properly, and I'm gonna make sure it's dry. So I'm gonna pat it dry completely on both sides and inside the cavities. I also gonna cut some of the imperfections on the skin, so it's ready for our next step, which will be to do our rub. Once the turkey is properly dry, we're gonna carefully, with our fingers, detach the skin from the breast area. So we're gonna be adding some compounded butter that I've made earlier, and you can find the link up here for the recipe step by step on how to make compound butter. Okay, now that it's fully dry, we're gonna add extra virgin olive oil, our bonding agent, to make sure all the surfaces are covered. Okay, now that we have applied olive oil in every surface of the turkey, we're gonna start by adding some garlic salt. And I like to start always at the back of the bird, so we keep our breast area pristine, so for the look of the finished product. Okay, so once we do this, I like to add a little bit of smoked paprika to give it a little bit of color and flavor. A little bit of black pepper, slightly touch of it, and then we'll repeat the same on the other side. Okay. Okay, our turkey has been chilled for around 12 hours now, and then the skin feels pretty dry to the touch. So now we're gonna continue with our step number 3, which was the rub and the injection. So at this point, we're gonna create a mix of our compound butter that we made earlier, and then a little bit of our maple syrup. So this combination is gonna give a mix of great flavors to our meat, and then we're also gonna use that for basting our turkey during the last hour of the cook. Okay, we're gonna start by adding some of the compound butter inside the breast of our turkey. Okay, gently, we're gonna make sure we leave that skin without breaking, and then we're gonna cover both sides of the breast. Now we're gonna add some maple syrup to our compound butter, and we're gonna make a perfect mix. Okay, now that we have our mix of our compound butter and maple syrup ready to be injected, so we're gonna use our injector here. We're gonna make sure we get a full injector, and then we're gonna start here on the breast, sure we don't puncture that skin, and then we're gonna try to do almost one injector in each side. We're gonna repeat the process until we inject both sides of our turkey's breast and the 2 legs. We're gonna do a little bit of 2 types of parsley. All right, so this is gonna be a great taste to the inside of our turkey. and we're gonna use some sage, a little bit of rosemary, and some fresh parsley. Love the smell. Some green onions, a lemon. We're gonna cut an orange here. And this is what we're gonna use for stuffing our turkey. So we're gonna start stuffing our turkey with all these citruses, herbs, and some vegetables. And this is gonna give it a lot of flavor and juices from the inside. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bigger pieces. We're gonna put our orange, and we're gonna fill in all the cavity with the rest of the citrus and herbs. So now we're gonna tie the turkey's legs just to make sure they stay in place while cooking. Final touch, coat it with flavor. And next stop will be pure smoke perfection. Okay, now that our turkey is ready for the cook phase, or number 4, and the breakdown, I'm gonna put in my meter thermometer. And let's make sure when you put it in, you put it on the thickest part of the breast without making sure it does not touch the bones, right? So this way, we can then monitor the temperature via Wi-Fi, and then we can make sure we are always checking until it hits 165 degrees. Now our turkey is ready to go in the smoker. So in a few minutes, we're gonna have our smoker preheated to 350 degrees, and then we're gonna put our bird in. Okay, we have saved some of our brine, which then what we're gonna do, we're gonna put in one of these disposable trays with all our herbs and all the seasoning that we use in the brine. And then we're gonna put this in the bottom of our smoker. So one, it will help you, clean it later, as you're gonna catch all the drips from the turkey, but also it's gonna keep that meat moisture, and then it will infuse a little bit more of that flavor that we want to have in our end product. Now it's time to let the smoke do the work. I place the turkey right in the center of the Traeger so the heat surrounds it evenly. Every hour, I open it up, rotate the bird, and check the wings. If they start getting too dark, a little foil keeps them protected. Slow, steady, and smoky. That's how you build real flavor. While the turkey smokes, I mix together one of my favorite basting blends, melted butter and pure maple syrup. The butter adds richness, and the maple syrup brings a subtle sweetness that caramelizes beautifully on the smoker. Give it a quick whisk, and this glaze is ready to brush on for that golden, glossy finish. Now that the turkey's been soaking up that smoke, it's time for the baste. I brush on a generous layer of the melted butter and maple syrup mix, letting it drip right into all the cracks. This glaze doesn't just add flavor, it builds that deep color and shine you only get from real wood smoke. Every pass makes it look better and better. Turkey's looking perfect. Quick temp check, breast at 163, right timing. After hours in the smoker, this turkey comes inside like a trophy. The aroma hits you right away. Smoky, buttery, unreal. Let it rest for a few minutes on the counter. This is where all those juices settle back in. Give it just a little time. That rest makes every slice even better. Now for my favorite moment, the first slice. I will cut right along the breast and let the knife fall through on its own. Look at that. The juices slides out immediately. The skin stays crisp, the meat stays tender. That's the magic of butter and slow smoke. And let's get ready for the first bite. Wow, so juicy. Okay, I've got some help here to help me judging this cook. Here's my wife. I'm gonna give her a piece of this juicy, oh my lord, look at this piece of meat and see what she says.
It's really good. Very
I'm glad to hear that. So
Cheers. Cheers.
Hit like and subscribe for more flavors coming up.